Good afternoon, everyone. Pipat speaking from Thailand. Beautiful Sunday to everyone. Miss all of you as I flew to Ubon Ratchathani, northeast of Thailand on last Wednesday and spent 2 days in there to help my university friend. She would like to create a documentary to help the community. And I spent 2 days in Ubon Ratchathani, northeast of Thailand. It brought back my old memories. I got in touch with green environment. I learned many things about wood that used for natural dyeing. Certainly that is lifelong learning process. And I miss all of you. Hi Risa สวัสดีน้องสุนันทา Hi Richard Myanmar. Today I would like to create a special broadcasting in remembrance of our great King Bhumibol. I would like to promote his philosophy of sufficiency economy. And today, 4 years ago, it is a big sadness of Thai people. We lost our great man, King Rama the Ninth, the great King Bhumibol Adulyadej. And what I would like to tell to you, I would like to tell what is happening and what happened in 2019 in December. And I would connect to the way of knowledge acquisition. And I would like to tell you about procrastination. Once when you have some idea, you're supposed to think completely in every aspects and don't procrastinate, because times fly. You never bring it back. As it said, procrastination is always a thief of times. When you lose the times, you cannot bring it back. I would like to share what's happened on the 2nd December 2016. It is 4 years ago. It's still clear in my mind. On the day, I was in a shopping mall downtown, very late in the afternoon. I watched a live broadcasting from United Nations, New York, America. Our former ambassador, Dr. Kopsak Chuchiku, keynote speakers in the event, he made a beautiful speech to participants who get together at UN headquarters. Dr. Kopsak Chutikun, he made speech about our late King Bhumibol. I deeply listened to the program broadcasted live to Thailand and other countries. It was very touching speech. I burst my tear when I heard about our king, stories I never heard before. And what I'm gonna tell you, when my idea popped up, I think even though it is a very invaluable stories of our passing king, unfortunately it broadcasted in the afternoon on a working day. And certainly it was in English, but the story was touching. And my idea was how to let other Thai people know about invaluable stories of our King Bhumibol. That happened on the 2nd of December. And when I came back, I think about this because in the meeting, UN gonna announce the 5th of December a World Soil Day to honor our King Bhumibol. And what I decided to do, because that is live broadcasting, and how can I take off all English speech into Thai, into English, is time taking, but it's my passion. It was my passion at that times, how to promote, how to expand our king story as much as widely to global and to Thai people. And my passion is how to get my translation from our ambassador within 3 days before the 5th of December, the World Soil Day, or our King Bhumibol birthday. I have only 3 days, and like a big job for me to take off every single word correctly from our former ambassador, Dr. Gopsak Chuchikun. I have to proofreading every single words because it is about our king, and how to translate the English message into Thai. Everything have to be finished before the 5th of December 2016. That is my passion, and you never believe that I get everything done on time. I work very hard day and night, and eventually I finish my translation. And in the 5th of December, I post my translation on Facebook, and people interested in my post is about the 20,000 viewers join and share my Facebook. And that is what I would like to say. If you feel something special, and don't keep it to yourself, think of the others. And if you decided to do something even so small for the others, but if you think what you did can expand to the world and then help people to think about compassion. Think about smart philosophy of our king. Why don't you do that? And today, it's 4 years. And I still remember what's happened on the 2nd of December. In the beginning, I mentioned about the procrastination and time fly. Once you think of something good, do not hesitate to take prompt action. Today, it will take about 30 minutes. I would like to tell you about our great King Bhumibol philosophy and about his story that just revealed after his passing. And later on, my translation was published in many magazines. One among magazines is Construction Variety, that I am an author in there. And that is special circulations when my story published in there. It's about 20,000 circulations that spread over nationwide. Okay, I will tell you our King's story in remembrance of today, 13 October. That is a big day for Thailand. 4 years ago, we lost our great beloved King Bhumibol, who sacrificed himself whole of his life, not only to his people, but global people. I will read my translations created by Dr. Kopsak Chutikun, our former ambassador, Thai ambassador to United States. And he used to be a member of parliament, and 4 years ago, as a keynote speaker, promote our King Bhumibol to global stage at United Nations. The topic on the day is about a tribute to our late King of Thailand. UN promote every 5th of December as a Bowl Soil Day. Such event was co-organized by the permanent missions of Lesotho, Thailand, and Turkey in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO. And now is all about his speech on the day. My translation was very hard because I kept deeply listening to every single word made by the ambassador. And it's about the royal family. You have to be careful in translation. You have to find exactly every word and its meaning, and even something hidden between the lines. And you have only short period of time to get it done. But for me, that was a big challenge. Okay, let's start with my translation, and I think this would be very beautiful story. It's not just only for Thai people. It is something you can gain benefit from his story, and I think you will love it. And I will tell you, it takes about 30 minutes. Our ambassadors greet the meeting and tell about the purpose of his presentation. He said in the beginning that thank you for the opportunity to be with you, with all the participants, to be with people who share a commitment, a passion, like my king, for the soil, the land, and its people. And he raised the question, who was this man? This frail, bespectacled young man who grew up to be a king? In the infinity of moments that make up a lifetime, it's hard to focus on just a few moments. But perhaps we can share with you here some of the stories being told now for the first time. Most of them is just revealed for the first time after our King Bhumibol passing. Now that he passed away, by the people whose lives he had touched. Ladies and gentlemen, some of you have been to my country called Thailand, about 315 kilometers north of Bangkok. In the upper central plains, dusty roads, rice fields, sometimes flooded, sometimes drought, all the time very hot, traversed by rivers and canals. Yes, I'm telling you about a province, Phitsanulok province. There is a 63-year-old woman by the name of Lon Mi Metta. Is a Thai name. She known as Grandma Lon. She's one among the hundreds of impoverished farmers in a small remote part of the province. Every day for 36 years, she has gone from her farm to clean a wooden pavilion on the river bank. The villagers did not know why. She did it on her own without any pay. Every single day for 36 years, trying to keep the water out, trying to keep it clean. Only recently, she has revealed that 36 years ago, a man came here to her village and stopped at the pavilion. He showed them how to irrigate the farms. He gave them buffaloes to work the land. He gave them land. So for 36 years, she has come to the pavilion to keep it clean, hoping he will come back. She has done it without pay, zero money, on her own, in order to repay the king who came and taught the villagers how to take care of the land, how to raise fish as an alternative source of protein and to earn extra income. He also built a school in the village and came back to the province 13 more times, but never back to that pavilion, which stood unused. But Grandma Lon continued to keep it clean, repair it, as best she could, just in case he were to come back. Because the king had changed their lives, made a sustainable life for her and her village. Another story, further up north in Nan province, 668 kilometers north of Bangkok, very hilly, wooded up in the mountains, forest. There is a comrade, Norm is Thai name, a former Communist Party insurgent. He has also come out recently to reveal that in his teens in 1970s, when they fought the urban elite ruling class, military, landed gentry, these people tried to expropriate the king for themselves and excuse the communists of fighting against the king. But Comrade Norm said this was never the case. Comrade Norm referred to the king's statement when he had declared that to help the people, we need to know the people. The communist insurgents keep saying that fought for basic rights to the land, for social justice, and they always believed that the king understood and shared these ideas. Everything is for better life indeed. In the late 1970s, the Communist Party laid down their arms. When the insurgency ended, they were given land and they looked after the soil, even became guardians of the land, on guard against slash and burn, against opium growing for crop substitution. During the height of the insurgency, the king visited Nan province, the epicenter of the fighting, 72 times, and every time he visited, all sides stopped fighting. Comrade Norm said they cannot imagine how the war could have ended without the king, and they all hoped that he would stay with people. And in fact, he did stay. It is remarkable now looking back to think of a king who born aboard in Boston, Massachusetts, the United States. Our king grew up in Lausanne, Switzerland, for the first 16 to 17 years of his life, but who at the age of 39 in 1967 decided never again to make a trip abroad. Few of us realized this back then. We grew up, worked, and lived our lives, taking for granted that he was always there. By looking back, we are just beginning to realize how remarkable that for almost 50 years, our king never traveled abroad. Although he could have done so, and with comfort and any style, anytime, anywhere he chose. Now it can be revealed that when a small group of Thai ambassadors had an audience with him to receive their credentials before being posted abroad, they had proposed to arrange for him to be invited for state visits to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower again, to Egypt to see the pyramids, to Japan to visit places he had not done before. You cannot remember? Our king never visited Japan. But what is his reply? His reply was to ask, does every man, woman, and child in Thailand have the means to travel abroad also? We realized then that he had made a decision. Yes, he made a choice on how he wanted to live the rest of his life until the day that all his people could also travel overseas if they wanted to. Of course, the day never came. Even in his later years, many in Thailand has urged him to travel one more time to see his birthplace in Boston, or to go and convalesce in the clean air, good food, and expert medical care of Lausanne, Switzerland. But he always declined. To his very last day, and he continued to spend most of his time close to the ground, on the soil, for his people, not for him. The tall skyscrapers of Bangkok, the top of the world restaurants, the tallest building that he spent time in, I think was probably the 16-story hospital that he had to spend his last days. That is the Sirat Hospital. And it was fortunate for the people of Thailand that he made that choice so long ago. Now I'm talking about King initiated project. It's about 4,685 development projects that our king initiated throughout his 70 years reign, dealing with irrigation, crop substitution, fishing, cattle, soil preservation, husbandry, and surely education. I tell you more about one family that got involved closely with our King Bhumibol. It's one family that benefit in Suphanburi province. It is about 120 kilometers north of Bangkok in the central rice plains. Was the family of Grandma Chon. Chon meaning spoon in Thai. A story is told that this elderly lady had difficulty going up to the district office to have land title stamp to register births and deaths, enroll her children in school. It was because she went in an old sarong, a torn blouse with calloused hands and often without shoes, barefoot. She was regularly stopped by the guards, turned away, or left unattended. One day, however, a large convoy arrived at her village named Samchup, Suphanburi. It called Samchup, Suphanburi. Lots of people, soldiers, policemen, but in the middle was a man who stepped out of his car in muddy boots, sweaty white shirt torn at the collar, who went into the rice field near her home, uprooting weeds, digging a furrow to let the rainwater flow, who carried sacks of fertilizer and seeds to distribute to the farmers. A photo of this man later appeared in the local newspaper. Grandma Spoon. She cut it out and kept it with her always, wrapped in a piece of cloth. Whenever she went to the district office, and if the officer stopped her, as before, she would take the photo out and show them and ask, "Is not your king? He is also my king. He came here to my village in working clothes and a torn shirt. He was like me. Why cannot I come in the same clothes to his office?" They would from that time always let her in. Of course, out of respect for the king, she would try to wash her hands, wear a proper dress, and wear shoes from then on. From the inspiration and confidence that her king gave her, Grandma Chon amassed farmlands and raised 4 children on her own. As a single mom, her husband had died when the youngest was only 2 years old. When she passed away, she had 16 grandchildren and 36 great-grandchildren. Most were able to go to school not only in the capital city, Bangkok, but in England and America, and were able to travel and work abroad. One child and one grandchild of that old farm lady grew up to represent her king in many countries around the world as his ambassadors. And Dr. Kopsak mentioned this old farm lady whose life was forever touched by King Bhumibol. She was his grandmother. And now he keep mention about our new king, new reign. And he says, "So sorry for being a bit emotional that day. Just yesterday we received a news that we now have a new king. A new reign has begun. So it is an important time of transition for all Thai people. My only regret is that I shall never be able to inform my late king that, yes, Your Majesty, some of your subjects have been able to indeed now have the means to travel, study, work abroad. All this because of the foundations that our king laid, the inspiration and confidence that he gave to his people. I would have liked to inform him that we shall never forget that once we had someone who cared of us, someone who sacrificed for us the living of his own life. It's not only in Thailand that our late king presence was felt. It was in the kingdom of Lesotho a few months ago in the southern part of Africa. There at the Matseng agricultural project, from the main road up to a small building used as a community center, the Basutu people lines up waving leaves and branches to greet Dr. Kopsak as the Thailand representative. On the wall of the small building was a calendar photo of the King of Thailand. They said they would often come to pray to him, to thank him for the building he built for them and the agricultural experts he sent to teach them about self-sufficiency and to help them earn a livelihood from the land. They asked when he would be coming, and I eventually had to tell them the reason why he does not travel abroad anymore. if they were to ask me again today, now that he has passed away and he would be coming, I don't know whether they would be satisfied with the answer that his presence will always be with them and he has left them a gift, a way of how to live a productive life. It was not only Lesotho, but developmental projects of the king were undertaken in Timor-Leste, in Jordan. Jordan is a rainmaking project. Laos, Cambodia, and other places. In Laos, our king was known as the Lord of Life. But our king never wanted to be worshipped as a divine being or a demigod. He was just an ordinary man and very down to earth. He would say, we'll just try to do something practical, to do good. A Bengali poet once wrote, every action of our lives touches a chord that vibrated in eternity. I believe my king lived his life with his consciousness. Every minute, every hour of each day was never wasted. He devoted 50 years of an enlightened reign to his people. And Dr. Gopsak, he mentioned about a play, because his presentation was in New York. He said it might be appropriate to refer a Broadway musical, The King and I, by Roger and Hammerstein, which some of you may have seen. In the musical, there is one scene that the royal consort Lady Tiang sings about her king. This is a man who stumbles and falls, but this is a man who tried. He has 1,000 dreams that won't come true, but you know, he believes in them and that is enough for you. It's remarkable how a song composed so far away can capture the essence of how ordinary Thais felt about their king. My king has passed away, and he continued to touch lives. I recall the words of Kofi Annan, Secretary General of UN, when he presented our King Bhumibol the first UN Lifetime Achievement Award 10 years ago in 2006, when he said, Your Majesty has reached out to the poorest and the most vulnerable people in Thailand, listen to their problems and empower them to take their lives in their own hands. The King legacy continues to play out sometimes in surprising way. Dr. Gopsak has a 4-year-old niece. She has a problem with her eyes and has to wear spectacles. When she first went to school, kindergarten, her friend would tease her, sometimes bully her, and children often innocently do. Even her teacher would sometimes not let her play some games with the others for fear that she would hurt herself. One day she came home and asked her parents, why am I the only one in school who wear glasses? I opened a cartoon book, show her a drawing of a small 7-year-old boy with spectacles or glasses, and then pointed to a picture on the wall. This small boy with spectacles, I told her, grew up to be a great king of Thailand. Every day now when she arrived at school, she would go to the picture of the king on the wall, kneel down and pray. Every day before leaving the school, she would go and kneel down before the picture and take her leave. When friends make fun of her classes, she would point to the picture of the king. If her teachers do not allow her to play with her friends, she would point to the picture on the wall. She does this on her own without any instructions from us. She instinctively draws confidence and inspiration. I think she feels that with him around, with the king around, nothing bad can happen to her. That is her belief. I truly believe that this young girl will grow up to be strong, self-confident, and surely self-sufficient. The picture she points to is a picture we all in Thailand have grown up seeing constantly. It is a picture of a man kneeling on the ground and watering the plants in the soil. Ladies and gentlemen, with time, as we go on with our life, memory will fade. But thanks to the FAO and to all of you, at least we can look forward to one day a year. Yes, one day in a year in which we can all gather together to recall and reaffirm the words of a life. Indeed, the lives of all those who live on the soil for the land and for its people. And I have no doubt that all the awards, exclamations, medals, and decorations that our king has received, King Bhumibol would most cherish the recognition of being a man of the soil, working with the soil in his hands, making it live so that it can provide for the people who depend on it. So thank once again for sharing in his passion, for caring also for the soil, the earth that he, my King Bhumibol, loved until his very last days. Yeah, that is all about our King Bhumibol. It's never revealed in any documentary till on the 2nd of December 2016. Our former ambassador, Dr. Gopsak Chutikund, shared this story to meeting in UN at the United Nations headquarters, and this is what I captured whole story and translated into English. I take out from his speech, I took it off his speech and make my own Thai translation and spread it over to prolong our King Bhumibol legacy that he contribute to his countries. And this is a special broadcasting live inside beautiful life of Coach Nerusa in remembrance of our King Rama the Ninth, King Bhumibol Adulyadej. Thank you everyone for watching. Pipat speaking. สวัสดีครับ